Hi everybody, may God bless you. I welcome you all in this video. In my today video, I'm going to talk about forgiveness. And believe it or not, I'm going to talk about it differently. I've listened to so many people, so many motivational speakers, preachers, mentors, like everybody that you know out there, they speak to us about forgiveness and they all say the same thing, that you need to forgive regardless of the counterpart. If someone hurt you, someone do something bad to you, you need to forgive them, even if they do not acknowledge what they did. If they do not apologize, you need to forgive them to free yourself from this prison, from this trauma, from living and reliving this traumatic experience over and over. You need to forgive them, which is true. I'm not debunking this thoughts. I'm not saying the contrary. I just want to add a little bit to it. In my perspective today, I'm going to talk about the person, not the person who's been wounded, not the person who's been traumatized, but I'm talking to the person who actually wounds someone, who wounded someone, who did something bad, who did something traumatic, who offended their neighbor, their friends, their sister, brother. That's what I'm talking about today. Before I even go further, I want us to have this picture of a person who's cooking in the kitchen, and by mistake, let me say by mistake, instead of cutting onion or chopping onion, they cut their own fingers. Let me tell you, there will be blood. And nobody expects that person to heal the very same day that she's been wounded. It takes time to heal. And for everybody who got some sort of training, CPR training or emergency response training, they know that there are actually procedures that you have to take to help the person who's been wounded not to lose their lives through their wounds. So I'm not going to go over those procedures, but I'm just talking in general. There are a lot of procedures that people or emergency responders take to help someone not to lose their lives, not to be harmed by their wounds. They will usually take something to stop the bleeding, to do whatever they can to heal the person. Okay, and the same way we see those physical wounds, the same way we know that they take time to heal. We know that there are some procedures that we can take to help the person who's been wounded to heal faster. Those same responses applies to internal trauma. Sometimes we cannot see the internal bleeding. We cannot see the internal trauma. That's why we expect the people who we hurt to heal in one day. And we usually say, get over it. Yeah, get over it. Forget about it. It's not a big deal. Why? Because we actually do not see that wound, that trauma. We don't see it. That bleeding inside, we don't see it. But let me tell you, an internal bleeding, internal trauma is as the same. And let me even say it's even worse. It's even worse and can take more time to heal than an external wound. And after saving someone from the bleeding, after helping them not to lose their lives through the bleeding, when the EMTs arrive, there is always a treatment that will be administered to the person to help them heal. Those same procedures, those same things, we should also apply them internally for someone who's been wounded internally. Those solutions should be applied to them. But how? The question is, how do we help a person heal faster? My response, or what God has revealed to me, was forgiveness. Forgiveness. Or apologizing to the person. Let me tell you something. This has nothing to do with the person who's been wounded. This has something to do with you who did something wrong, who wronged the person, who offended the person. You need to acknowledge that you offended the person. You need to acknowledge it. Go and see the person. There is a Bible verse. In that Bible verse, I'll actually link it here so that we can see it. The Bible says, if you are going to church to give your offerings, and you remember right there that you have something against your brother, you need to stop, go look for them, make peace with them, and then come back. A lot of people do not really talk about this Bible verse in this perspective. This part in the Bible concerns you and me. When we hurt someone, when we do something bad to someone, we actually need to go see that person, acknowledge what we did to them, and apologize to them. This helps the person heal faster for whatever they went through. This helps the person. This helps a lot. You need to know something. As human beings, our brain is capable of building a lot of coping. Let me say coping organism. Our brain is really capable of doing a whole lot of things. And one of those things is when you are in danger, actually, your body develops a certain protection without you even knowing that your body has designed a defense mechanism against anything that is coming to harm you. And when we do something bad to someone, when we offend someone, their brain builds like a wall. This is when you notice when you do something bad to someone, even if you scream out of your lungs, get over it, no matter how you're screaming, that person will never ever have a so-called relationship with you. Never. Because they've been a wall that's built naturally. And it's not like the person is doing it on purpose. It is what it is. There is a wall, a separation. That person will be separated for you mentally, physically. It can be your wife, your husband, someone you are living with. It can be your cousins, your mom, your dad, your parents, your grandparents, your friends. There will be a wall that will separate you and those people. But let me talk to you about the power of apologizing, of recognizing doing wrong to people and going back to them, apologizing to them, acknowledging that what you did was wrong. Let me tell you, it actually first of all, it breaks that wall. When you acknowledge doing something bad to someone, you apologize to them, that wall, right? That wall of defense will break off. And there will be a bridge that will be built. And the connection between the two of you will actually come back. You will have some sort of connection with the person. Even if you will not be best friends like you used to. But let me tell you, this is the truth. There will at least be a connection. And you will keep a good relationship. So I know it is good to tell people, yes, forgive. But you need to know sometimes it can take a long time for a person to heal, for a person to stop the bleeding in the heart. And it is very important to help those people heal faster. One of the ways to help someone heal from internal wounds, from internal trauma, is by acknowledging you did something bad to them and coming to see them and apologize to them. May God bless you. And if this message speaks to you or says something special to you, remember in your heart, if there is someone out there that you've wounded, that you wronged in the past, that you offended, come to them. Acknowledge what you did. Be humble. You will help that person heal, and you will make peace with God. You will make peace with yourself, and you will make peace with that person. May God bless you. I'll see you in my upcoming videos. Bye.